Dear Geology Department at BGSU, calm down. Now, look, I don't know you, and you don't know me. This is the only geology class I've ever taken, and it is the only one that I will ever take. But I got a bone to pick with you. I get it. Cheating is bad. Trust me, I'm not trying to praise cheaters. But there is such a thing as taking it too far, and you have taken it too far. Now, you likely know what I'm talking about, but just in case you don't, and for those nice audience members out there, I am going to elaborate. This particular geology class has a lab attached to it, because we need to take 2 classes that have labs. Whenever we have a test in the lab, everything goes crazy, because at some point in the history of this department, some people cheated, and the department flipped out. So let's go ahead and just go through all the things that we aren't allowed to have. 1. We're not allowed to have drinks with us. I'm sorry, what exactly is the purpose of that? Is the drink going to whisper the answers to us? I hope not, because that would be creepy. Is the drink going to somehow make us magically smarter? If only. Do we somehow have the answers dissolved into the drink? No? That's impossible? Then what's the deal? Now, there's something I kind of want to insert here because I wrote this down a few weeks ago, and at our most recent test, something interesting happened, so let's just go ahead and call this one 1.5. We had a student told that she can't have her sunglasses with her during the test. Look, unless the sunglasses are Google Glass, I don't think they're going to help her on the test. If anything, it's going to make things worse because, you know, you're wearing sunglasses indoors, so blocked off. 2, we're not allowed to have backpacks with us. Okay, I mean, I guess I kind of understand this. I mean, we do have the labs in our backpacks, so we could conceivably pull them out if we don't know the answers to the test. Except for the whole, that being painfully obvious thing. Seriously, have you ever tried to sneakily pull something out of your backpack? It doesn't really work. Maybe it's just me and the fact that my backpack is incredibly messy, but I can't help but think that the teacher is going to notice if you're reaching into your backpack to pull out something you're not supposed to. 3, we're not allowed to have our phones. And this one I also kind of understand. We could conceivably get on the internet, assuming that our phone can do that, and look up the answers. Except, like with the backpack, this is painfully obvious. People seem to think they're incredibly clever when they're texting under a table during a class. They somehow don't think that this isn't noticeable. Guys, teachers aren't stupid. This is obvious. 4, we aren't allowed to use our iPods. Now, before I dive into the written section, I will say that I know that some people have iPods that are extremely fancy. So maybe people have iPods that can go onto the internet, but again, I refer you back to what I said during the phone section, and I'm going to go ahead and go back into my written letter. Okay, this one just baffles me. You know what my iPod does? It plays music. You know what's not going to help me? A device whose sole purpose is to play music. I feel like the only way that an iPod could help us cheat is if we somehow downloaded the class textbook to it as an audiobook, but A, I'm not even sure that's possible, and B, actually no, that wouldn't help us at all, so never mind. And finally, 5, we're not allowed to have our calculators. Now, this one just infuriates me, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you why. At the beginning of this class, both in the lab and in the lecture, it was told explicitly that we needed a calculator. This isn't one of those things that, oh, this would be helpful if you had it, an optional thing. No. This is something that we were told we needed to have. And yet, here we are at a test, and we are told that we're not allowed to have our calculators. Now, to be fair, we didn't have to do any calculations, but seriously? It's a calculator. You know what it does? It calculates. Hence the name. If this class is so adamant about having calculators, maybe it should know the limits of a calculator and know that it's not going to help us answer questions about rocks. In conclusion, I have to say that I know when someone cheats, you need to respond. I get that. But seriously, calm down. Love, Jeffrey.